Today we're taking a look at the entire line of wrestling heroes from Pro Wrestling Tees. Now, if I remember right, these were announced or shown off somewhere between September and October of 2025, and then they went up for pre-order early December, and they arrived at people's houses before Christmas time. That's kind of the timeline that I remember. And I was super, super excited about these. One, new O-ring figures in my book are really just awesome. I love O-ring figures. And to get O-ring figures of characters that have never been in O-ring, I mean, get some wrestling O-ring figures, yeah. Somehow the lines were, apparently something was misunderstood or I read into something. These are not O-ring action figures. They look like it, and I'm not sure where I heard it or where I saw it, but I was really confident that these were supposed to be O-ring figures. Anyway, we'll get back to that in just a bit. I'm having a difficult time because these packages 100% will not stand on their own. And I can't lean them up. They're too slick. These packages are collector friendly. You can peel this back, slide the card out, take the figure out, and then later, if you want to, you can put the figure back in. So these are very slick, very kind of difficult packaging for someone like me making a video. If you're going to display these, you're going to want to hang these on the wall. They won't stand up. Back here, I don't know if you can tell with all the shiny lights, but there's little white things back there. I've had to sticky tack them into place just to keep them up. So there are 4 figures. We have Randy Savage right here. We've got Nature Boy Ric Flair. We have Jake the Snake Roberts. And you might be wondering, why are there 2 Danhausen? I know these 3. I don't know who this one is. But there is a reason there are 2 Danhausens. So we got this little note in the box saying, let's see, put it right there. I think you can read it. I'll read it too, but I think you can see it. It says, "Thank you for ordering our first ever action figures. Because you ordered the pre-sale bundle, we are including an additional special surprise. There's a chase color variant figure absolutely for free. We only made 100 of these chases for each figure. These chases will be released with the general on sale. After initial feedback, we have plans for Series 2, which includes O-ring construction, metal pins, and accessories." This was the first time. This is where I realized, oh, these are not O-ring figures. We hope you enjoy Wrestling Heroes, and thank you for being a ProWrestlingTees.com valued customer. I'll be honest, I've never heard of Pro Wrestling Tees before these figures. So the reason I've got 2 Danhausens is they sent me one for free because I ordered the whole bundle. And the chase is right back here. Let me see if I can safely reach back without knocking too much stuff around. So the chase, if we can, it's always hard to read this shiny stuff. Let's see if I can get it right here. Essentially, there's 100. There, you can kind of see it right there. 100, well, I read it. There's 100. Each of these figures are limited to 1,000. So there are 100 of each of these. And the difference is, I'll get to the difference when I get them out of the package. The reason they're still in the package is I wanted to show you how big these packages are. So I've got a Super 7 G.I. Joe Reaction Plus figure in package here. I want to put this one next to it. These are smaller than what I would say a traditional O-ring figure package are. You can see right there how much smaller they are. So when my hand's around it, like I cover a fourth or a third of it. I don't know. So just to give you an idea of how large those packages are. Okay, I'm kind of tired of trying to deal with these packages. Let's get them out of the package, and then I will show you the cards separately from this collector-friendly packaging. All right, as you can see, they're out of the package, and they're just laying all over the place on the cards because I can't stand the cards up. Anyway, I'm going to warn you, I'm going to be pointing out some things that I don't like about these figures. But I'm going to show you each of their cards a little bit better than when they're back there getting flashed by my lights. So here's the Ric Flair card. You can see his image there. And flipping it around, they do have a little bit of a bio card. Height, weight, hometown, signature moves, the name, and the picture right there. There is a cross-sell up there of all 4 of the characters, and even says right here, wrestling's biggest heroes, collect all of Series 1 and ProWrestlingTees.com and all the other legal stuff. And they're nice little cards. They're interesting. They're fun. And here's Jake the Snake, so you can see the front and the back. I'll put that off to the side. Here is Randy Savage, front and the back. And let's grab this one. Danhausen. I sure hope I'm even saying that right. Correct me if I'm not saying it right. But front and the back. And there's really nothing different as far as I can tell between these two cards, except for, can you see it any better? This one has the Chase 1 of 100 sticker down there. I think the card is identical. So real quick, we'll talk about the Chase. From what I've seen online, the Chase is simply a color. We're going to keep these down for the moment. A color difference. So the 1 of 1000 for this one has red stripes across the pants, as you see right there. The Chase is mostly black pants with some white stripes. And, even the mouth. The Chase has red around the mouth, and the non-Chase doesn't have the red. Oh, and the belt. I keep finding things. The non-Chase has a red belt. The Chase has a black belt, it looks like, because there's a white belt buckle there. I'm going to zoom in so we can see these just a little bit better. All right, we're a little bit closer. You can see them better. So the first thing I want to say at this point is I try to be careful because it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort to create an action figure. I've never done it. It costs some money. You have to have some talent. And to actually go through that whole process, it takes, I would say, a little bit of work, but that's really it takes a lot of work. And it takes time. And it takes a passion and a love. And I hope you all don't assume that I'm going somewhere negative, because I want to honestly talk about these figures. So when I first saw them being advertised, unboxing from ProWrestlingTees.com, they had all these gray joints. So I made a very poor assumption, as they say, don't make an assumption, that these gray, let's see, I'm looking here, it's just the shoulder joints. It looks like that's all it is. I thought this was indicating they were still prototyping, because I couldn't imagine anybody seeing this and being fine with it, especially charging, current modern day action figure pricing. I'll bring Randy in just a little bit closer so you can see his gray joints. So right there you can see the pin, the front. There is nothing on the back, which is interesting to me. And you see the circular thing. And, some of you might say, oh, it doesn't stand out. It's not that bad. And, maybe it's actually not too bad. I don't know. But to me, it stands out and it bugs me. It looks like an unfinished figure. Now it's this is it. It's also got them down here on the knees. So when you've got, let's look at Jake. You got these blue pants and a part of a missing snake. It stands out. It actually stands out. And I don't know. They just don't look finished to me. And then the whole O-ring thing. So don't they look like an O-ring? I'm going to lay these guys down so I can actually focus in on this figure. So don't they look O-ring-ish to you? They sure do to me. There's no hole in the back for a screw. But I went to pull it apart and they didn't pull. So I'm not sure. I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to break this thing. But there's a lovely gap here around the waist. So they are definitely two different parts. It looks like the torso. I'm going to bring in a secondary light here just to kind of light things up a little bit more. But it looks like the torso and the waist are glued together. I was trying to look here. I'm going to try to see if I can pop this leg off. I'm going to break my figure probably. Oh, there we go. So it looks like it's a ball joint. That's how it's connected, is a ball joint. Think of a ball joint. You're looking right at it, and it looks like it's in that same color. So I'm guessing it was just cost effective to maybe do all the joints in that same color. But they do pop off. Another thing that I noticed immediately is that these figures are incredibly loose. Well, that one's not now. That was. The arms are loose. It's hard to... They just feel loose. It's hard to replicate that. Like, I could do anything I want to... there you go. See? how loose those arms are, and the legs are loose, but it doesn't really translate into video. There's also a lot of strange little gaps, like this doesn't look like it was formed really well because it spreads out at the knees, and I don't know what kind of joint's in there. Oh, right, I do. It's this little gray pin. So hopefully it holds together. Also, things like feet and hands have plastic sticking out. You probably need to sand these down. So I'm glad people ordered these unseen. Like nobody reviewed them, nobody talked about them, really showed up close detailed. They said in their note that there was a huge success. They sold a lot, and it looked like when I was watching the website they were selling it. I was a little concerned with all wrestling fans and action figure fans and O-ring fans that they might sell out pretty quick. So I was like right in there. I was waiting to order these things because I didn't want to miss out. And I'm still thinking about them. I really honestly am. It looks like his hair might be a separate piece from the head because I see like some gapping here back there. And even on this guy, I really hope with their Wave 2, their Series 2 that they're doing, I hope the game gets stepped up a little bit, because if this is the level of quality, the loose figures, the not great, the extra plastic hanging off of fingers, and I'm trying to find, let's see how close I can get with this guy. I'm gonna autofocus here. There you go. All right, look right here on his foot. You see right there, there's like overrun plastic here and there and there. It's just like it wasn't trimmed, or I don't know exactly how figures are made exactly, but it looks like it wasn't trimmed or sanded. There's no holes in the feet for sure. There's even here like a fair amount of paint rub. I'm not even sure where red, unless it was up against another figure. And there's like more plastic right there. Looking here at Jake the Snake, you can see like right there, there's extra plastic or extra paint sticking off. The paint actually applications, they almost look home done, honestly. Just the type of paint I'm not used to seeing. It kind of feels that way too, honestly like a custom. Maybe it was a cheaper factory or something, because as far as I know, they put the money out for the molds and all this stuff. I don't think they didn't do a Kickstarter or crowdfunding. They just did these. Like there's a gap here let me do that. There we go. There's a gap here. There's a lot of little things, and I hate to say negative things, but as someone who looks at figures and reviews them and talks to you about figures, I want to share what I see, and I want to be honest about it, because we all only have so much money, and there's a lot of figures from a lot of different indie companies now, and you want to make sure that your money is getting good stuff. However, that's interesting. His feet are not flat. His feet are not flat. Looks like his feet are flat. Maybe not. His feet are not flat. But anyway, all I was going to say is, if you want to keep this figure in the package and display it, hang it up on your wall, it'll probably look great. If you just want to stand, none of these come with accessories also. They're just the figure. If you want to stand the figure, he's still standing. They're not flat feet, but he is still standing. If you just want to stand and pose the figure, it'll probably work just fine. If you're a customizer, you might want to see if you can match the color and paint these plastic rivets or plastic pins. I don't know. You would do what you do, but I want to properly share what I see. Now, if these issues are fixed, I like these figures. If they have, I would say, a better paint job, if they're tighter, if they're actually O-ring and you can actually move I constantly, when I grab these guys, I want to go and start move it around, because that's what I do. I'll grab a figure and I want to move it around and do stuff. And, I just did a bunch of stuff with Marty there. And I grab this and then I realize, oh, it's glued. And I don't know what will happen if I inadvertently just go and start twisting and it pops, breaks the glue. is this figure going to fall apart? Is there anything actually in here holding the figure, the torso and the waist together? I don't know. I mean, you got the little ball joint sticking here. I don't know what's in here. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. I really want to like these figures more. I mean, I really did like these figures. And that's why the knees are kind of weird. I mean, Randy Savage and Ric Flair have some kind of funky knees because of the knee wrestling knee safety padding. So Jake is probably fine looking, although his knee doesn't go all the way back. That's interesting. The articulation on Jake is that far. It's not 90 degree. Oh, can they sit? Well, oh, interesting. He's apparently double jointed. So that's about as far forward as he can take his legs. The ball joints are, I didn't realize till now, those are very hindering. You could do like a Star Wars thing where you kind of twist the leg around and you can get them up a little bit higher, but then he's like weirdly spread. And see, that's the O-ring. That's the nice thing about the O-ring construction is it allows for things like that. You could sit. Yeah, these guys are not going to sit if you want to put them in like a vehicle. There's even some gapping right through there. But yeah, the knees are a little bit funny. They do seem to, they're designed completely different, I think. They seem to bend 90 degrees. Then you get a guy like this, and they don't bend 90 degrees. So there was not enough. It's either this portion is up too high, or there wasn't enough trim, or these are not far enough apart, something. But these things, they look... Can he kneel? I mean, he can kneel. That's cool. So if you want to put these in wrestling poses, I honestly don't know a lot of wrestling poses. So I don't know if you could do that or not. They've got generally the articulation of O-ring figures. So the shoulder rotates around. There's a hinge there. There's a rotation and a hinge at the elbow. Looks like the head goes back and forth. It's not on a ball joint. It doesn't go back and forth at all, just rotates back and forth. Actually, it goes all the way around. There's absolutely nothing stopping that from going all the way around. There's no articulation at the waist, and you saw how well it can sit and how well it can bend at the knee. And the ball joint it does what ball joints do. You can rotate a little bit, but there's a pretty limited amount of articulation. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm kind of dumping on these figures a little bit. Oh, just saw another one right here. The elbow also, or the back of the elbow also has the gray pin. It's interesting how they designed this to where the pin goes in, but you don't see it on the other side. It just like goes through and I guess hooks into a receiving slot, the shoulder, the elbow, and the knee. So I wonder for long-term construction how that will hold up. Yeah, anyway, like I said, I'm sorry I'm kind of dumping on these figures. I think it's because I really wanted to like these more than... The card art's better. The cards are better than these figures. So I think I've shown you enough. I think you understand what's going on here. If you're even still watching the video, I appreciate it. I really do. Yeah, I really appreciate if you're actually... Oh, I know. Let's do a quick height comparison with, like... I would say right now, he's kind of leaning. I don't know why he's kind of leaning. I find his hair funny, just a lot of paint speckles all over the chest. So he's leaning, and I don't know... Oh, did I solve it? See, and that's another thing, is, like, if they glued this, that's what it looks like. I think they glued this in crooked. So that's another thing with the O-ring construction versus gluing this in, is that if it's not glued in properly, if it doesn't sit, the torso doesn't sit correctly in that waist, then you're going to have a leaning figure. And that's not great. So if you're going to get him to stand, he kind of stands like this because I'm not really sure why he stands like that. It's like his feet, I think, his toes. I'm trying to get everything straight. Like, what's really going on there? Is like leaning forward. You can bend the knees and get him to stand. And that's probably what you're going to have to do with this guy. Anyway, sorry. I was going to do a quick height comparison with I'm trying not to make these look bad. I really want these to look good. With Super 7, I was going to say that I think Super 7 is kind of like a standard now. They're about the same height as a lot of things, so there is... You know what? I think my camera's also crooked here. Let me adjust this up. I think that's actually straighter now. So sorry that my camera kind of was at an angle. We're going to knock these guys over, get them out of here. Let's do Marty and Jake back here. So it looks like these are actually smaller figures. Now I'm having difficulties getting him to stand. Let's go to Rick. Let's try Rick out. Oh yeah, so much better. Him and Danhausen stand pretty well. Then we'll stand Marty. I mean, don't get me wrong. Super 7's also kind of tilts just a little bit. So, but see, like right there, I was able to adjust the torso. So anyway, it looks like the wrestling figures stand just a little bit shorter. I'm looking around. I don't see... Oh, I do have Skeletron. Or, well, Wolf Trooper. We'll stand him here. I think he's a little bit taller than some figures anyway. But that's about how tall he is. You got Celila from Void Rivals Hasbro. Did I say it right? Celila? Yeah, Celila. There we go. So, looks like she is about the same height as them. So anyway, those are the wrestling heroes from Pro Wrestling Tees. I don't know. I haven't looked at the website. I know they removed the orders for a while, so I don't know if they're back up to where you can order them. If you like these looks, please don't let me completely talk you out of it. I'm not trying to talk you out of anything. I am just showing you what I'm experiencing. This is a longer video because I'm opening these for the first time on camera. I don't always open things off camera and then, try to make things look or sound good or figure out, well, the problems beforehand. Most of the time, I'm opening things. If you see me opening it on video, then that's me opening it. But anyway, I just want you to be fully aware and prepared of what you're getting into. Like I said, hang the card sealed package on your wall. They probably look great. You could just stand them up in a group in a mixture of other O-ring action figures or other figures, and they'll probably look just fine. If you're a customizer, you could paint over these light gray rivets, and then you probably won't notice them as much. I'm noticing there are different skin tones. It's interesting, Randy is the darkest of all of them. So I don't know if that's like a purposeful thing or like none of the rest have gotten sun, but Randy got sun. Anyway, I'm done. That's about it. I really want to light these figures. And on a side note, if you've stuck around this far and you did, or you ever do, and you decide you don't want any chase figures you get, I am still trying. Even though everything I've said, I am still looking for Rick, Jake, and Randy's chase figures. Since I got these ones, I am looking for it because I want a complete set. Anyway, I hope you don't think I'm completely dunking on these, just a little bit. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you did so, please click on the video in the bottom left corner and watch that one. YouTube thinks you want to watch it next, and it will really help this small channel grow.